Sunni or Christians or whatever. It's our type, it's our children. To the extent, let me tell you what. Many of you guys may have done a lot of great things, and finally your children found a different path. As long as you did your responsibility, your job, alhamdulillah, you did. The son of Nuh also, son of Nuh, right? Khuda Hafiz Baba. It's important we do our responsibility as best as we can. Make sense?
Yes.
You're, again, strong yes. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. You give me energy when you say it. All right. Before I move forward, I have to different stages of your child. Your children, I try to cover different and inshallah, if there's any question we have time, we'll try to cover that as well. Developmental stages is very important. That means how much you expect from a boy or a girl. Okay? You cannot expect the same thing that you expect a 10-year-old from a 5-year-old, a 15-year-old from a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old from a 15-year-old. You cannot. By ages, their brain understanding is different. Like physically, I'll give you some examples. Physically, they cannot comprehend a lot of things, right? For example, your child at the age of 5 and the age of 6, how many of you guys have this age? Raise your hand. Quickly. Ahsan. A lot. At this age, we call them egocentric. They are super, egocentric. They don't want to share with other people. This is average, by the way. Your son might be very, very kind of averagely, right? Why? Because they believe everything's for them. If I ask you, can you share your car with me? Give your car to me. What would you say? Oh yeah, bismillah. This is my car. Did you give your house to me? When you ask them to give them their tours to someone else, is equal to the Mercedes that you have to them, right? Right? They're very egocentric. They're protective. They want to protect themselves. What do we do usually in a wrong way? Astaghfirullah. Share. I was at your age, I was sharing my whole toys life, right? To my family, to my friends. We're forcing them. Allah says share. Now we bring Allah inside as well, right? Allah says share. It's like, why? It's mine. Why should I share? Right? It doesn't make sense. And we force them, and we don't know that has wrong impact on them. Make sense? Yes. What did we promise? Yes. So children think very differently compared to adults. Cognitive development refers to how children thinking changes with age in how they think about the world, other people, things that happen. Even their brain is different. My master's in child development. So their brain also is different. The wires are different among them, right? So why is it important? Children behave at different ages. I'll give some examples. Children think about the world around them and other people around them and the religion differently in different ages. You cannot expect a 7-year-old, a 9-year-old girl who became baligh to do a lot of things that a 15-year-old, 20-year-old are expecting. You see what I mean? So in order to talk to them, in order to explain to them is also important. Yeah? So why very young children have difficulty getting along with others? You might have children that they don't get along with other kids. They can't play, right? With other kids. How to best communicate with your children at different ages is important. You need to learn. So here's the thing what I'm saying. The most important way that you can help your children, the best tools that you have, look how many times I say it. The best tool that you have to become a good parent is one thing first. What is it? Communication. 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 In marriage, the first factor associated with marital satisfaction is communication. 90% people don't know how to communicate. Husband or wife, they don't know how to communicate. When it comes to children, they don't know how to communicate. When I talk to a child, I'll sit down eye to eye. Imagine, okay, I'll talk to you. Imagine I come here. How you look at me? Sorry. Imagine the whole day I talk to you this way. How does it feel? How does it feel?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassing, right?
Embarrassing.
Very embarrassing, right? I come to you, how your little child, 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, they look at you. And then imagine I do this. How would you feel? You're scary, you're a monster. Imagine someone very big at our level much bigger than, taller than us, higher than us, look down, and then also fight with us too. And then at the same time, this guy comes and hugs me and says, oh my God, Baba, I love you so much. Which one? This one or that one? Contradiction, I don't get it. Where did we have in the Sunnah of Ahlul Bayt Rasulullah that they were fighting, scolding, God forbidden, hitting their kids? You know, if anyone hit the kid, you have to pay the diya, the expiation for that, kafara for that, right? And you go by gold and silver. If it's red, you have to pay so much. If it's bruises, so much. If it's bleeding, more than all of them. Father, doesn't matter. Mother, doesn't matter. You don't have right to even touch the skin. You see what I mean? Because that has opposite effect on the whole. Do you think it's just that? No, it has opposite effect on the Islam, in the aqidah, in the belief system. Right? Because now I want to bring them back to the masjid, sit down and says, I don't want to be. I don't like it. Right? So that's super important. That's what Islam is talking about this. So developmental ages is very important to how to learn how to communicate with them. Specifically, I remember my professors when I was talking says, your little kid, your baby, like newborn. How many of you guys have newborn? I saw a little one here, right? You have much of a newborn. This is when you want to change the diaper of your newborn, right? Talk to your newborn. You know that they hear, they understand. Have you heard that in the mother's womb, talk to your kid? Yes? Play recitation of Quran and so on. So why? Because they can hear. They can't talk, but they can understand it, right? This says what she was saying when you're coming to the baby to change the baby, bring the dry diaper, say, sweetheart, I'm going to change you, right? And you see, we're learning how to communicate. If you want them to be eloquent, to talk, how many of your kids, in parentheses, express their feelings and anger by action, behavior? Raise your hand. How many of your kids become angry and yell or do something? Don't be shy, please. All of us have experienced, right? Yes? A lot of us. So many of you guys, you're not raising your hand. That means you're very good, mashallah. You don't need this session. So what do we want? Do we want them to show their behavior in action, or do you want them to communicate? Mama, I'm very upset with you, rather than throwing something, rather than yelling, right? Baba, I'm getting frustrated. That's what we want. Thank you so much for letting me know. Let's talk about this. That doesn't mean they will disrespect. That doesn't mean they will, they will be the boss. No, we are the boss here, right? But imagine where you work, the CEO of your company, the boss, always disrespect you by, how would you feel? Humiliated. You don't want to be there. You quit as soon as possible. Yes? So communication would help here. They will learn to express their feelings, to talk about their feelings, right? And then you have you don't feel disrespected, so you go communicate with them to see what's going on. So, and realistic expectation about the children at different ages. So, as an example, I have this for you. So, preschoolers, just for an example, as I mentioned some of them, continue to be very concrete in their thinking. It's easiest for them to think about objects that are in front of them, as well as rigid. Whatever is in front of them, they'll believe in that, right? Their thinking is very rigid, inflexible, illogical. In addition, their understanding of the world, including people, nature, and things, is very limited. The preschoolers also have great difficulty taking the perspective of another person. You're trying to say someone else how they think, or how I think about it, they have difficulties. It's very rigid and concrete. Whatever is in front of them, they believe in that, right? We need this for Islamic teachings. I'll tell you why. Look at this. They don't understand what's real and what is not. This is average, right? They believe in what they see. They think if something moves, it's alive, like fire, rock, rolling down the hill. May fear that if, for example, the blood is coming out, they feel like freaking out. Oh my God, things, they're dying, something is coming out. They're struggling with understanding what causes things to happen. They can't process things. Causality is not in their mind yet. So, I'll tell you what is so important. Keep that in mind. There are 3 factors associated with personality of us and our children. The first one is what? Genes. So when we want to get married, we have to be very, very careful who we are marrying, right? Here's another danger. When you're not having a good parenting, your children, when they become at the age of marriage, they don't want to marry similar personality. They don't want to marry someone with the same religion sometimes, because they want to blame someone, something, right? if all the Muslims around me, they're having difficulties, maybe something is, according to their mindset, you see what I mean? Maybe something is wrong with that. Let me get away from this. That's the sort that I was there, that I've seen all the women, for example, all the men have been oppressed. I don't want it. I have a lot of girls specifically, they don't want to get married. Either they want to delay it, or they don't want to marry to someone, same nationality, culture, religion, and so on and so forth, right? So I just published this book, just in case you want it. This is good for, a lot of people ask me, it's good for those who are at the age of marriage, don't want to get married, and those who wants to get married, and the process, how to get married, how to get close to someone, and so on and so on. The name is Why Should I Get Married? Why should I get married? You should find it in Amazon. So genes is important. Hadith is saying, whenever you want to get married, multiple hadiths we have about this. Look at the family, personality, iman, akhlaq of the person. Because your whole generation is going to come after that person. So there's a beautiful hadith of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, when you want to get married, for example, he was talking to a man, he says, look for a mother for your children. You know what does it mean? Not necessarily a wife. That means think deeper, further away. The one who will be a great mother or father will be a great husband and wife as well, right? Think deeply about this. See what I mean? So, something that is important. Environment, that's another thing. Inshallah, we'll talk about this. Super, super important. Many people, the household is very good. They raise children in a good household, but outside environment, they don't take care of it. School and friends and so on and so forth, they cause problem, and training. So, we're talking about the little kids, right? So, let me bring it back. Okay. When we said they're little kids, at that age, their thinking is very concrete, right? And very rigid. So your teaching strategy should be also concrete, the way that they can understand. Don't go above and beyond. If you bring your kid to the lecture, and the lecture is very abstract to the details, and your kid's getting bored, don't fight with them. Just because your father grabbed your hand, sit down, that doesn't mean they should sit down as well. It's boring for them. They don't get it, right? It's like you don't understand Turkish, and the speaker is speaking Turkish. After 5-10 minutes, respectfully, you bring your phone out. You bring your phone. You don't understand. To them, sometimes this. What we need to do, let them get used to it. Okay? So let's sit here next to me, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then go out with them, bring them back, so and so, right? That's why. So make the house environment as close to Islamic environment and mosque environment as possible. It's very important. What do we expect in the mosque? Respect. It's not just praying. Respect, kind relationship, being nice to each other. Elders are more respected, so and so, and our spirituality too, right? Literally have a room in your house or area section in your house, call it masjid. And let your people in charge of them, right? So someone in charge of cleaning it one day, another kid in charge of azan and the praying. So we're talking about little one, by the way. It's very easy. It's very easy. They love to follow and copy who? Mom and dad, right? They love that. So this is very important. So we want them to get, here's the point. Here's the second important thing. First, we say communication, right? The second thing, we want our kids to get used to these things. We don't want them to understand. They don't understand it. We just want them to get used to it. Make sense? That habit. When it becomes a habit, for example, washing their mouth, right? Islamically, psychologically, health-wise, we know how important it is, right? Not necessarily every single night, they do, oh my God, I have to go wash my teeth, is very important. No, you get used to it. They get used to it, they do it. We want them to get used to doing this habit, right? All right. Pray in front of your kids. Very, very important. Even the little ones. Pray in front of them, right? Very important. If you can do jama'at, jama'at home. With how many people you can do jama'at? اختلف العلماء ما شاء الله. We have different opinion here. How many? 2. Mom, dad. You and your child. Right? The 5 is for Jum'ah. Jum'ah prayer, 5 people with imam should be there to pray the Jum'ah, right? So, almost all time in front of them pray. Let them see. Right? Don't force them.
Don't force them. If you do not come pray, you're not going to go to park anymore. I hate this. Anything I'm going to do, this namaz is coming in the middle, right? You see? Anything. On the other side doesn't mean forget about namaz, so it's not important. You see, خَيْرُ الْأُمُورِ أَوْسَطَهَا. The middle one is important. Let them see you recite Quran. It's very important. Not that, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I have a kid, not a kid, a teenager, right? He's 17-year-old. He said, I have allergy to my father's voice. I hate it. I'm like, why? Because he's always loud praying at home and it's just in my mind. I hate now everything. And he's right. Control it. 17-year-old getting away from this because he's got allergy, right? Imagine someone, there's too much of it. You see what I mean? So it's very, very important. By the way, many of you guys, I told you, we decided to come to this country. You know what's going on outside. You take the wrong step, outside are ready to take them away from you. The hadith said, be very careful about training your children because the enemies are waiting. Not they're waiting actually, the hadith says they are taking them away from you. We cannot afford to make a mistake in our children's tarbiyah and training, right? So it says, inshallah, mashallah. No. It's different than our generation. It's different than Iran, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan. It's totally different. Our children are different. They're smarter. They are in this society. They have access to the world, to the information. Yes? So, put some Islamic signs around the house. The name of Allah and Ahlul Bayt, mashallah, you all have it. One of the things I said, come to the center, to the masjid. You know why it's so important? Saying these things around. Please, 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 please. Don't go home because 10 days of Muharram is over. Don't go home. They'll come back in the centers. Thursday nights, Friday. If throughout the year you're not bringing your children every single week, they go to school every single day. If you're not bringing them every single week, at least 1 or 2 times to the center, something wrong. Muharram 10 days. It's like only 10 days go to school. Doesn't work. These centers, these Islamic environments are like the islands in the middle of the ocean. But make it fun. Make it fun. Thursday nights is Dua Kumail before we go to a restaurant, before we go to a park. And so after that we're going to do something. See what I mean? Fun, engaging, exciting for them to come. Make sense? Rules at home should be Islamic rules. Measures the goodness and evil of everything by vision of Islam. When I say Islam, that means there is psychology inside. Don't segregate these two. This is the wrong things. No one come here and teach you, this is psychology, this is Islam. This is wrong. Everything Islam says has the best psychological point in it. Make sense? Practice what you preach about the hijab, about, music, about salat, about being nice, about, why you're talking to your mother this way? Yesterday you were yelling, Baba. That's why. Anything we do, they copy, I promise you. They're recording every single aspect. We are human beings, by the way, right? We get upset, we get angry, we get frustrated. So they see it. So when Baba and Mama, they got frustrated, what do? They yell at each other. So in the similar, they don't think, it's just psychological. So in the similar situation, when I'm in the stressful situation, what should I do? I'm going to go back again. Mama and Baba, when they are stressed, they yell at each other. So when I'm stressed, I should yell. Now you tell them, why are you yelling? Because I learned from you. Every single behavior they have, I promise you, they have seen it somewhere in you. They don't pick it up from outside. They pick it up in you. You be calm, they'll be calm. You be nice, they'll be nice. You yell, you be mixed, they'll be mixed. Right? That's when you observe it. That's how it happened. So that's very important to preach. However, we're human beings. When I make a mistake, what do? If I yell at my kid, what should I do? Say it out loud. Apologize. I go to my son, to my daughter, regardless of the age. I sit down, says, Baba, that was my mistake. It's wrong of me. I shouldn't have raised my voice. What am I trying to do? That's not okay. I was upset or something. That doesn't justify it. I'm explaining communication. Authoritative parenting are those who have policies, discipline, rules, but are very good communicators. They talk to their kids and they're flexible. Authoritarian are just those who have rules and policies. I say it because of that, you have to do it, right? That was wrong of me. I shouldn't have raised my voice. I just wanted to apologize. So he or she knows I'm a human being. I get upset, I get angry, I get frustrated. I was working the whole day, right? So you see, we're making it practical. We're not saying, no, never. Yes, inshallah, we should be able to reduce it as much as possible, but talk to them is very important about these things. Make sense so far? Yes. Ahsantum. Training. The second thing was training, right? Create a very nice and kind image of Allah for your kids. Let me ask you this question. When we want to make them scared of the haram or the punishment, what do we say? Say it again. They go to Jahannam. What's going on in Jahannam? They burn all the kids. The same Rahman Rahim, the same God that I'm supposed to love is going to burn me? Right? So I don't get it. So you say he's very kind. Think about a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, right? Don't think about yourself. We put it in perspective. So imagine, say, if I be the worst to you, you don't burn, you don't set me on fire, Baba, Mama, right? Why are you doing this? Why this God is going to do this? Don't make contradictions for Allah's mindset. Never, when you have shortcoming, never bring Allah, right? Teenagers, when something happened to them, disrespect your parents, Allah give it to you this way, right? This is because of Allah. What does this have to do with Allah? You see what I mean? So be very careful. Don't use Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left and right. He's very important. His prestige is very high. You see what I mean? So, create a very nice image of Allah. What does it mean? Try not to scare them of Allah's punishment. Don't threaten them by going to hell. So, these are all the concepts of Islam. Allah is very kind to children. He's Rahim, right? He's, whatever you ask, He's going to give it to you. You want to buy something for them? You want to buy the birthday party, a birthday gift, or anything, any gift, ED or something? Who gave it to you? Where is it coming from? A simple thing. You went outside, you got an ice cream, right? You're coming home, not expected. Allah brought it to my mind to buy it for you, correct? I love this one over there, that he always think about me. Then when I grow up, him is telling me to pray, what do I say? Oh, I already love you, whatever you say. You see what I mean? Psychology will raise them in that environment. Buy anything. The people of Damascus, Sham, the enemies of Amir al-Mu'minin, they were buying toys for their children. They were stealing them from them. They were saying, who stole it? Ali stole it. To raise them with the hatred of Amir al-Mu'minin. You see what I mean? Why don't we use the opposite of this in the right way? This is the Bilad of Amir al-Mu'minin. Amir al-Mu'minin brought this for you. Right? But always remember, this image is always a good image. It's a beautiful image in my mind. Allah is so kind to me. This is the foundation, brothers and sisters. This is the foundation. They're 19-year-old, they're 20-year-old. You don't have to fight for namaz. You don't have to fight for fasting. You don't have to worry. The foundation is already there. It's like you want to build a house. You already spent a lot of time and energy for the foundation. Now you can build a skyscraper. You don't have to worry about it, right? It's super important. So he's very generous, Karim. He knows everything, Alim. Kids love what? Heroes, superheroes, right? Why all this cartoons is about, Marvels is about superhero, blah, blah, blah. Just keep them away from it. Keep them away from it. Remind me to talk about it, okay? Right? Okay, if I don't forget. So, they love someone who has power. They love someone who has knowledge, right? So, he's Alim. He knows everything. Everything, yes. Everything, yes. He has so much power. They love it. Someone who has a lot of power, right? Protector, he's Hafiz. He protects all the children. At that age, your children will be scared of a lot of things, right? Someone is going to come from the window. At night, they can't sleep. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is protector. Put little Quran on top of the bed, right? Allah is going to protect you. Recite dua, inshallah. These names are protecting me. He forgives children when they apologize. His tawwab, right? The concept of tawwab is tawwab. So, this is some examples, by the way, because we don't have that much time. I'm just giving you just of that, so you understand what I'm saying. Yes? Ahsan. Create a very nice and very kind image of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How many of you guys, you tell the story of Karbala to your children? Raise your hand. Okay. I need a volunteer. How do you say this story to a child? Anyone? The facts?
But then at the same time, we try and explain
What are the facts?
what actually happened, why this happened.
All the bloodshed, everything?
No, no. As in, we go deeper in because my children are a bit older, so we go behind it when it becomes.
Okay, so they're older. No, younger ones. Younger ones.
Like small stories,
The small stories, like what? Tell me one.
like how Imam Hussein traveled from all the way from Medina to Karbala,
Okay.
and then what happened in Karbala, like till the bloodshed as well.
You tell the bloodshed too?
I just say shahadat, like how Shimmer did shahadat of Imam Hussein,
Mm-hmm.
just like that.
You go to details of how he did it?
Well, sometimes, but like in some videos, like we show, right, like Mukhtar Nama clips.
Mm-hmm.
If we show that, then like
How old are your child?
what we are observing now, that they are getting scared of the things that.
Uh-huh.
So it's the opposite that is happening.
Good, good. How old are they?
Mine one is 4 years old.
4. Okay. See, there's a little one. We have to be careful. Anyone else, sisters? How do you tell the stories?
My husband, he is a whiteboard and he draws and writes everything from very
Nice.
yeah, and very concluding, quite concluding.
The most important part of your stories is that create some connection with them with that story. Imagine you're a teacher, you're in IT, right? And in my lecture, I give some examples about your job. How would you relate to it? You understand better. From the angle of children, narrate the story. A lot of books coming out, a story of Karbala from the horse of Imam Hussein. It's imaginary, right? I went there, Imam did this, so and so happened. They can relate to the animals. You see all these kids' cartoons are from animals? They can relate to the animals, right? As an example, for example. Or if you want to say it directly, it's something depends on the age as well, definitely, to observe it. But create a very important image of that ma'asum or someone in their mind. When you talk about Abu Fadl Abbas to your children, it's the strongest than any superhero that Disney is showing them. This is the reality. But focus on the children. You don't have to go to details, something happens, so and so, until they're older, right? So they understand it. So, but that image is very important. They were very kind to kids. Tell them the story about, there are lots of stories about Ahlul Bayt, you can tell them. If they see that Ahlul Bayt loves them, then they will love them back. They love someone who loves them, right? I still remember my father had a friend, maybe I was like 4 or 5, that he was very nice to me. He was always, not necessarily do anything extra, but he was he was seeing me, he was very kind and smile. I still remember that image in my mind, right? Have a story time. This is very important. What time do your kids go to bed? 10 o'clock? MashaAllah. What time is the soonest? 9:55? 9 o'clock? What time do they have to wake up for school? MashaAllah. So they go to bed at 10, maybe 10:30, 11 they will sleep, right? How many hours? You know what time they have to go to bed? 7. Yes. If not 6:30. At this age we're talking about, right? And it is possible. I have a sleep specialist, pediatric sleep specialist in California. That my children were sleeping at like 9:30, 10. And he was like, my children sleep at 6:30. Like, that's a joke. How's it possible? He helped me. We tried it 2-3 weeks. Perfect. And then the next day when they wake up, guess what? A lot of energy. And guess what? Mom and dad, they have a lot of alone time together. Because if they wake up until 10:30, 11, mom and dad the whole day, they didn't see each other. They didn't have spend time with each other, right? One-on-one. Sit down, drink a tea, talk to each other, going somewhere, right? Not outside, inside. So anyhow, that gives a lot of benefits. Anyhow, so when you want to do that, you have to have the bedtime routine. But the bedtime routine, that's your job a lot. What is it?
What age bracket are we talking about?
This is the little ones, right? For the older ones as well, you can do that. I'm not saying go next to you can actually do it if they like it. Sit them next to them or next to the bed. bed or at the table, talk to them. How was your day, Baba? 17-year-old, 18-year-old. How was your day? Anything is fine? Right? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Right? Do you want to talk about something? Maybe not the story time with them, they're older, but you can connect with them. They can talk to you. They can sit down and tell you what the day was. You see what I mean? That connection is important. Or read a book together. Yes, adult book, teenager's book. Open a book at their bed, read it together. Any book, science, any Islamic, whatever it is, they like it. That's a bond. Because imagine, you go to work at what time? You come at home what time? When are we supposed to have Baba? Right? At least take advantage of that. So, story time is very important. Specifically, that's playing game time is with them is very important too. Open Quran and read stories from Quran to them. We have a lot of books now for kids. They have Quran stories, right? You don't have to find it from Quran. Bunch of you can find it online. Quranic stories for kids, right? Have weekly meetings with your children. This is not for everyone, all ages. With children, sit down with them, dedicate time for them, quality time. Please, 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 please. This is very important. Quality time, quality time, quality time. However you are respecting each other, spouses, mom and dad, they're going to respect you that much. If you don't have time with each other, when they become 18, don't expect them to have time for you. But when you hold I have a friend, he's 98 in California. Every single Monday night, the entire tribe is in his house. I'm like, how did you do it? Especially in the United States, kids should be everywhere. All professionals, all rich professionals. Is it from the little ones? Every single night together, so and so. It grow with them, it will stay with them. Quality time with each other. Once a week at least, family quality time. Inside, outside, have some games, have some fun, recite some Quran together. One hadith. Today, the older ones, you recite one hadith for us, right? 10 minutes, that's good. Some board game together, some fun, movie night, whatever it is. Bond. If I'm going to say outside, be careful with the friends outside. I need to make inside so appealing and attractive. I can't make the inside the way that I can't wait to get out. I'm hearing every day from my teenagers clients, I can't wait to get out. He goes to the college, he says, I hate to go back home. He has a weekend, he has a break, winter break. He goes out with his friends, he goes to a trip, not to go home. I hate to go home. So I want to have this home. This culture is important. Guess what? I have to make it attractive. Make sense? Any questions about this? No? Ahsant. Okay, so let's just go quickly. Don't have time, inshallah. Some of the things about teenagers as well. During adolescence, thinking ability becomes more complex and adult-like. Now from concrete to more complex, right? Many adolescents become capable of thinking abstractly. Therefore, they can think beyond the here and now reality. Remember the little kids? They just think about what is in front of them. Imagine what they can imagine what could be. They can imagine if the situation is different. Easily think about the past as well as the future. Think about ethical dilemmas. They think about situation hypothetically. What if I was not a kid of this house, of this family? They can think about it. When there's a drama, there's a problem, there's a situation in the house, right? I wish I was somewhere else, something else. I'm hearing from them. So, therefore, because they can think abstractly, they can argue. They're the master of argument. Perfect. And what do we do usually in argument? Can't argue, exactly. You know who's going to lose? No. We lose. No, we lose indeed. You know why? Even if we win, we lose. You know why? Because we lost it. We forced them to accept us. We forced them to, but indeed we lost it. Argument doesn't, and then you lose your respect, your credit. Imagine the CEO of your company come and argue with you. He loses the company, she loses the, they don't say this, says, communicate them. So don't argue with them. Communicate with them. Talk to them. Islam says, by the way, never do mujadala. Islam. Mujadala means what? Back and forth, back and forth. Don't do that. Set the rules and policies. Communicate with them. Put the discipline. Let them understand why we have this rule. Even for little ones as well. Talk to them. Well, if I say 7 p.m. you have to be home, what is the reason I'm telling you? What do you think about this? Baba, I think this is not fair. My friends are out until 10. This is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason. That's why we have these rules. Set the rules, discipline, but communicate. Let them feel you are important, they are important. Clear? Yes? They are more idealistic and therefore more likely to become involved in causes and more critical of parents. They will criticize you. If your kids are not criticizing you respectfully or telling you, either they're lying or they're hiding something. They should feel safe to come talk to you respectfully, right? Express their feelings. This is very important. They shouldn't be intimidated. Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam, he had a garden. He knocked on the door of the garden. The gardener, he's a slave, didn't open the door. It was a long time. Imam was behind the door. When he opened the door, Imam says, what took you a long time to open the door? He said, he looked down, he says, oh, to be honest, because I was not afraid of you. I was just doing something, I'm going to go open. What do you think Allah should say? Huh, you're not scared of me? I'll do something so you'll remember tomorrow. You should open the door before I knock on the door, right? That's what we do if you're behind the door. Allah said, Alhamdulillah that no one under me is scared of me, afraid of me. It's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hadith is saying, nothing would bring the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than wife and children being scared of us. Do we hear this hadith or no? We don't hear them. Hadith is saying, right? So then we have a lot of issues and problems. Where are these issues coming? In business, in life, personally, blah, blah. Because I'm an akhlaq, because of my personality. Completely we forget about akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt. It's only the namaz of Ahlul Bayt, the dua of Ahlul Bayt, how they prayed. What make Abul Fadl Abbas, Abul Fadl Abbas, the respect and adab, isn't it? His adab is Abul Fadl Abbas. That's what we're talking about, right? So, therefore they look at us how we are and they copy that. They tend to become more self-conscious and they look at themselves, their body, how they look like, their nose, they're fat, they're not fat, they're skinny, right? How they look like, especially nowadays with all this advertisement. You see what I mean? Be very careful about the screen. I will talk about it. They're not good at planning ahead of thinking through the consequences of the behavior. The last part of the human brain that will be psychologically developed is the development of calculating the risks of the behavior. Do you know at what age it will be complete? The last development of the brain? Take a guess. 26. The last part for teenagers, that's where we have a lot of risky behavior, right? They might do something, say something, averagely, but they can't calculate if I do this, what will happen, right? This is one of the limitations that they have. Amir al-Mu'minin says, إِنَّمَا قَلْبُ الْحَدَثِ كَالْأَرْضِ الْخَالِيَةِ مَا أُلْغِيَ فِيهَا مِنْ شَيْءٍ قَبِلَتْهُ. The heart of a youth is like an empty land. It accepts whatever you put there. You put the kindness, iman, hatred, akhlaq, whatever you put there. It's just land. You put the seed of apple, apple comes out. Orange, orange comes out. You can't expect you put, orange and you get the banana. And that goes to how we do it, what we do. Many of these things are even for the little ones too. Listen, this is very important time in order to teach them about religion. Religion concepts gain more, precision and depth in the final years of childhood and during puberty. For your teenagers, the most important, they love to communicate. They love to sometimes argue. They love to criticize Islam. Don't be intimidated. Why is it this way? Why is it that way? Maulana said this way. Why? Actually, it's a very good sign if they respectfully talk and communicate and criticize. That means they're listening. That means they're calculating. Either you find the right answer, logical answer, or you bring them to Maulana or someone expert that can talk to them, right? It's a good sign if they are questioning or something. I want my children to start questioning Islam. You know why? Because then when all their questions are solved and they get the logical answers, then they find it is, strong. Rather than have all those doubts and shubha in their mind, no one could answer them. Yes? Don't introduce religion just halal and haram, please. That's what we do from the beginning, right? This is haram. This is important, please. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying don't straight go to that without any explanation, without anything else, right? Explain to them, talk to them. This is halal, this is haram, this is the reason, beauty of Islam, the reason, so on and so forth, right? When I say haram, what does it even mean? That means something is going to harm me. Would you drink something that is harming you? Would you eat something that is dirty? No, Baba, of course. Mom, what kind of question are you asking me? That's why Allah is saying this is haram because of this, so and so as much as. You see what I mean? So this is salah, this is prayer, this is akhlaq, so and so because of this. This is always bring as much as reasons you can, but at the same time we raise the concept of ta'abbud. What does it mean? Because of Allah said. You see, Baba, you go to a doctor gives you pills. Do you always ask, if you don't tell me the ingredients of the pills, I'm not going to take it? No, you trust the doctor. No one knows better than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we're trying to discuss together, but guess what? Allah, we trust Him. He wants the best for us, so and so. This is little ones as well. You can train them with this concept. Make sense? All right, so let's see what else we have. Do not insist on punish them to follow the rules. Reprimand them about, when I was at your age, so and so I was doing. You look at your cousins, look at your friends, look at them so and so in the masjid. Please stop comparing them. We have in Islam as well. Do not compare your children with someone else. You raise the niranul lajaja. You make the flame of the stubbornness in them. They'll hate that person, they'll hate you, everything. No, don't. Compare them with themselves. People are different. You're different than your brothers and your sisters, aren't you? Right? Never reprimand them. Sarazanish. Never do. Imagine someone keeps coming to you. Why are you making this? So, when it comes to some important part of their life, buluk, for example, make it a big deal for them. Make it a whole jash. Buluk, you know what's so important? 9-year-old girls, it should be almost semi-wedding kind of things. You get my point, right? Super important for them. Oh my God, something happened. What? You're so important, Allah respects you now more than anyone else, that Allah put certain rules and policies. Remember that lecture I had about rules and responsibilities, how Allah respects us, right? Talk to them, explain to them. This is so important then. So, before they should learn how to pray, and so we'll be used to it. Write a letter about, their responsibility to them. Let them feel they grew up, and this is an important phase of their life. Let them get used to this, so something important happen. Okay, quickly, environment. Create the environment in the house as healthy as possible. I think we talked a lot about this in these examples that I brought. House environment should be kind, nice, Islamic, respectful, so and so. If something happened, if the fight happened, if issue happened, go back and fix it. Don't be intimidated. Go back and fix it. Some of you might be single parent, right? Single mom or dad. So, okay, unfortunately that happened. All right, try your best possible way. If you have access to your ex, create a best kind of parenting situation so your kids can go see their parents as well. It's very important for them. To you is Falan Shada did this to me, right? To them is Baba. To them is Mama. You see what I mean? Never ever talk bad in front of them about the other one, because you're destroying them, not the other one. Is that clear what I'm saying? It's very important. Keep them out. Keep them away from these difficulties. You can have different opinion about each other, but with them, really, it's not their fault, right? Keep them safe from these things. And then do your best as much as possible, so and so, kindness, love, give love, receive love, going out together. Anything that we say, the same thing for them too. Just because something happened, don't dismiss the rules and policies. Make sense? Say yes. Environment in the house is very important, okay? Even Islamically. Sometimes I say make a mission statement and write down. This is an example I wrote down here, right? Us, the family, and so, we believe in this, we believe in this, we do this, and so, right? Let them see that. This is the house environment that we created. lovely, kind, nice. You know why I'm so insisting on this? Because they watch movies. They watch cartoons. What are they showing? Unrealistic kindness, right? Oh my God, everybody loves each other. Go out together. They're seeing this as an example of the household. They come home, oh, he's yelling at this. That one is throwing something here. Khuda Hafiz. Stay out. The house environment should be the way that a father cannot wait to go home from work. Can't wait, because house is maskan. Sukna, sukunat means what? Aramish, peace, tranquility. The mother shouldn't wait to have the husband come home. Not that, oh my God, he's coming home, 5:30, it's getting close. Allahu Akbar. Okay, that's the time, let's go grocery. That's not. Then children, they don't want it to happen. You understand what I'm talking about, right? It's not late. My oldest client, you know how old is she and he? There's a couple, 79, 84. I'm like, why are you here? It's like, we're going to improve our marriage. It's beautiful, amazing. I love that. The most beautiful client. Every single week come to the session. That's what Islam wants from us. Never is late. Yes? Then what's the point of going to this majalis then, if it's like improve, self-improvement, marital improvement, so on and so, right? Anyhow, so environment outside the house is very important. That's what I'm going to tell you. Very quickly, finish. Environment outside the house is very important. I have a lot of families, super good house, amazing, nice, kind, educated, Islamic, everything you can imagine. The kids, come on, sit down. Why? School, friends. Whatever you do, these two can take them away from you. 6, 7, 8 hours a day at a school. That's not a joke. And you have no idea what they're being brainwashed. And you know what's going on, all these mandatory things to learn, so and so, right? So please put your energy together to make Islam in the schools. Since I came here, I'm talking to all the brothers and sisters. Everything you have put together, your kids, your next generation, other kids, next generation, do your best, be the pioneer. The solution is a healthy, professional, safe Islamic school. Even professional academically, right? Anyhow, so even in this situation, they go to school, what they're teaching them, what they're learning, so and so, with friends, outside. And you have no idea, because Baba is at work, Mama is at work, or at home making food, or working outside. By the time they come home, they don't even know what's going on. That friendship with your kids, that relationship can help you to understand. So they come to you and tell you, Baba, my friend is telling me this. Mom, you know, she's talking about that. Then you can communicate with them. What do you think about it? You think that's the right thing that she has a boyfriend? I'm not saying, Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Who told you to talk to her? Okay, so next time I'm not going to tell you. You see what we do? We get scared. And again, we get scared. We're parents. Oh my God, you talk to someone who is so-and-so, mixed gender. Oh my God, astaghfirullah. How did you get close to it? Calm down. Communicate. What do you think about this? Let's talk, let's communicate. You see what I mean? Gradually let them see it and feel that right or wrong to get away from it. All right. Environment is very important. Okay, let me move forward. Okay, the last things I want to tell you is about the virtual world. I don't have time to move forward, but here's the thing. The worst things ever, the plague of our centuries, is the screen time. Be very careful. My doctoral dissertation is about the effect of social media and the screen time, excessive screen time on families. You cannot imagine the depth of the damage that excessive screen time, I'm just talking about the time, forget about the content. The excessive amount of excessive screen time can do to your children. And I know, how many of you guys are struggling with this? Raise your hand. Honestly, please, don't be shy. I'm expecting every single hand to go up. All of us, right? They don't listen. They're addicted. I have a lot of 11, 12-year-old addicted. He cannot put the phone down, literally. One reason. I put the phone down to do what? Look at you guys, you're fighting with each other? Or sitting down, look at the wall? Go find something to play. When I was at your age, I was going outside to play. What? You told me I can't hang out with that friend, right? We need to have replacement. Those who smoke, not you guys, outside. You guys, mashallah, very good. When they want to quit, what do? alternative, replacement. They don't just let them, or drug addict, right? They find a replacement, they replace that. If I want them to not to be addicted to the phone, first and foremost, I can't be spending 3 hours on the phone myself. That's what we do. As soon as we sit down, all right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I have free time, Ya Allah. So if you're doing this, I would do it too. Why not me, right? Or my 3-4-year-old, they see Baba and Mama always, hope they're going to do that. So this is very important. Imagine if you have a book with yourself. Whenever you have a time, I'm not just in general. Families, you might have some families, they read a lot of books. Kids grow up seeing that books around them. They grow up, they love the books. So we have to control ourselves with a screen. We cannot spend a lot of time. I know you're sending email, I know you have blah, blah work, and so and so. Abu Talib Center is sending an email, I have to check. All these things. Guess what? They just see me in the screen. So that's important. This is the behavior. My behavior is this, my world is this. Right? So they will do the same thing. So that's number one. Second, have rules and policies in the house since the little ones. What is the best age to have to buy them the phone? What is the realistic age? As old as possible. As old as 12 is absolutely dangerous. Absolutely no, right? We'll talk about after 15. After 15. Tell me, I forgot his name. Bill Gates. There was an interview with him. He says, my kids, they were not allowed to have phone until 17. He's the, I don't know, the so-and-so, in IT, the god of IT, but they know what's in it. There's a documentary in Netflix called Social Dilemma. I don't know how many of you guys have watched it. Those who invented social media, the engineers are saying, we created to make it addictive. And then we want to get away from it, we cannot. Super important to have the policies and rules. But if there's a rules, how many hours do you think is allowed for kids by the age of 8 or 9 to have screen time? Good job, 20 minutes per day. Impossible, right? Let's stretch it for Muslims, Shia for half an hour, right? 35 minutes, okay, right? But if we want to do it, so they have to be, I know it's impossible, because what? How about before that the phone was not there, the screen was not there? We create certain lifestyle for ourselves, then it's so hard for us to get out of that lifestyle. Of course. I know some family, you may not know some families, their lifestyle is the way that the screen is not part of the lifestyle. Kids go out, kids have some fun, right? That's why parenting is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. So, don't forget even about the content. Allahu Akbar. Going to TikTok? Good luck to have with Muslim kids. I know I'm being a little bit scary here. Do you know what they have access, what they're watching, what they're seeing, what they're scrolling? But we have to understand, when all their friends, they have it, it's very difficult. I have to be very understanding. They have to see that I'm understanding them. There should be a good relationship. Then imagine, I don't have a good relationship. I'm fighting with them, and I'm telling them don't touch your phone or no phone. Doesn't work. At least have some good akhlaq with me so I can listen to you, right? But we're talking to them, explaining to them. Let them know that you're not just saying no, no, no. You're talking, you're letting them know what is the reason, so on and so forth. But have a discipline, rules. Mom has the same discipline, Baba has the same discipline. Other older kids, they have the same discipline in screen time, and so on and so forth. But when you strengthen their aqidah, their belief system, when they grow up, then they will try to understand better and better about this stuff. So, therefore, friends is another thing. So make sure you know the friends of your children. Fully know them. Someone asked me before the workshop, so what kind of friends? I said, hey, mashallah, you have a huge community. Spend some time with some people that you can get along with. If you trust them, if you find them, 1 or 2 times go to their houses. If you see the same mentality, mindset, so and so, create the network. 4 or 5 of you get together, create a network, hanging out together, going out together, spending time together, we get a barbecue, so on, so kids become friends with each other. Even Muslim Shia, do your research a lot. I'm saying in the masjid, so you get what I mean outside. Right? The akhlaq, personality, lifestyle, so and so, everything, right? So there will be keeping it safe. So these are just the gist of that. You can imagine I had to move forward, inshallah, because of the time, and there's tons of things. For my parenting workshop, usually I go age by age, like group by group, and then I go by like topic by topic. I just try to have some general information for you to be aware of that. Therefore, if I want to summarize it, the most important thing, what was that? Even for akhlaq, for Islam and other things, ahsan, communication. From the little age, although even if you didn't have a good communication, don't worry. Your teenagers, Baba, do you have time? I'm going to take you to the coffee shop. What? Let's go lunch together. Me and you only. My daughter, my son. Let's go. Go outside, sit down. I went to the workshop. I realized some of the things I'm doing is not right. Brave. That's what we love it. So let's talk. Let them explain their feelings. This is what I feel. This is what I think. Blah, blah, blah. Then build a relationship. What do you think about starting over? They're going to be hesitant. They want to stay away. No, okay, don't worry, Baba. I'm okay. I'm fine. Don't think that's, oh, thank you so much. I was waiting for you. No, I'm going to reject you. Find another way. Find another way. Do as best as you can, right? Let's talk. Let's explain. Build a relationship together. Don't step down from values. This is what I'm going to tell you. Because you want to bring them, don't step down from Islamic moral values. Allah, if you don't pray, that's okay. If you don't, that's okay. No, Islam is Islam. Don't spend Islam here because you're going to have a good relationship. But you want to build a good relationship so they understand what you're talking about. Make sense? Yeah? So now that you said to start over, can I not go to a school from tomorrow? No, it doesn't work that way. It's not. The rules are rules and policies are policies. We're just trying to, I understand you better, you understand me, this is the benefit. So communication number one. Second, make sure you create a healthy environment, right? Healthy environment is super important. Inside out, outside. We talked a lot about inside the house. Strong inside foundation of the house, and outside you should control, even for teenagers, right? Third, friends. This is part of the friends, right? Fourth, screen time. Super, super important, right? Spending time, social, Islamic teachings and studies and so on and so forth. They would inshallah love that. Any question? Go ahead.
You had a question about the superhero?
Yeah, thank you. So, all these superhero things, Disney movies, they have agenda behind. Okay? They're teaching something wrong. They're trying to get to that. We don't need them because there are a lot of agenda and messages inside that we don't understand. Necessarily regular people don't understand. So the whole concept is not a right concept, and sometimes they go mix messages and different things that, kids definitely have a wrong understanding. Any other questions? Go ahead.
How to deal with the teenagers' anger management?
Anger management. So anger has a reason. The anger is coming from somewhere. I have to find out why he's getting angry, she's getting angry, right? So I can't have the source of anger still active and not trying to help them. No. I have to find why they're getting angry, try to work on the source of anger, right? Then try to help them how to manage their anger, talk to them, control the anger, instead of showing the anger, communicating about the anger. But the best things I can say, find the source of anger. He or she is angry because of something. Make sense? Or sometimes it might be social media. Okay, 2 more questions. So I know we have to start the program.
I mean, my kids asked me to go for like, they are 15 to 17. They asked me to for like a sleepover.
Sleepover.
Just ask them.
That's a good question. Sleepover where? With who?
Friends.
Whose friends?
School friends.
Do you know them?
Yes, I know.
Do you trust them?
No.
So you got your answer. So even those who we know, be careful. I know it's very difficult, but be very careful. Go ahead.
What do you think about different public school issues?
I know the situation here, right? How it is. Yeah. They turn what? Sun. Yeah. You see, each of these situations have their own picture. I can't say which one is better than the other one, to be honest. Depends on the school, depends on the situation as well, right? For me, number one is, if you ask me personally, number one, Islamic school, second, homeschool. Go ahead.
We have some Sunni schools here around.
That was his question. He says they went there and they've been affected. They've been affected there too, right? So, and I know, I'm very aware of the situation here, how it's difficult and so and so. Yes. What time we have to start? As soon as possible. So we already have, we're past. One more question. Go ahead. I couldn't hear.
Where can we get good Islamic books for teenagers?
Teenagers? Okay, good question. There is a Kesa publication. You can find their books online. Okay, Kesa publication. They have a lot of books from little ones to older ones and so. Kesa publication. Yeah, Kesa publication. There are a lot of books, so they're the best school. All right, so I know you have a lot of questions, so I bring back again this, so you will see my information here. So inshallah, if anyone wanted, you can share with them as well. So this is just the gist of that to show you how important it is, inshallah. Do your best, read more, study more, come and ask questions as much as you can. And the end, the beginning and the end, Imam Sajjad taught us. It says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, Allahumma a'inna ala tarbiyatahim. Oh Allah, help us on the tarbiyat of our children. All these things I said, you do to the best level. What do we need? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us. Imam Sajjad is saying, Allah help me, right? Connection, tawassul. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the path of our children, be connected. We do the right thing, Allah would help us, inshallah, to do that as well, right? Otherwise, son of Nuh also, Nuh did his best. So that connection, tawassulat, coming to this gathering, to this majalis, inshallah, will be successful and will be helpful. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.